Take a breath with me and do something simple right now. Smile, big and even. Raise both arms to shoulder height. Say your full name out loud. If one side felt heavy, if an arm drifted, if your words sounded thick for a moment, don't panic. But don't shrug it off either. Tiny, strange moments like these get blamed on stress, bad sleep, or I stood up too fast. Sometimes they're your brain waving a bright, short warning, a mini stroke, what doctors call a TIA. It's brief, it's sneaky, and it's the kind of warning that if you catch it, can change everything that comes next. Here's the mindset that will protect you and your family. When it's sudden and new, you act. No arguing with yourself. No, let me wait 10 minutes. We treat it like an emergency even if it fades, because fading is exactly how TIAs trick people. You feel okay again and think it was nothing, but that nothing might be the preview of a stroke. So tonight, I'm going to give you the simplest checklist to spot danger fast and the calm plan you can follow in the exact minute you need it. Think fast. Face. Does one side droop when you try to smile? Arm. Lift both. Does one drift down? Speech. Do your words come out slurred or not quite right? Time. Don't drive, don't wait. Call emergency services immediately. Even if symptoms last seconds, even if you feel fine after. That one decision, calling, can save speech, memory, movement, independence. Now let's translate the science into everyday moments. 15 warning signs in plain language, the kind you can remember under stress. Sudden numbness or weakness in one side of your body. Your coffee mug slips, your fingers won't pinch, your knee feels like rubber. It's the one-sided clue that should always ring the bell. A lopsided smile or a cheek that won't lift the way it should. If the mirror shows a face that looks different and it's brand new, that's a call, struggling to speak or understand. You know the word, but your mouth won't deliver. Or the sentence you're hearing doesn't land the way it should. If you don't usually have that problem and it hits out of nowhere, alarm. Vision that flips suddenly. Blur, double vision, or a blackout in one eye like a curtain dropped. If you start bumping shoulders on door frames or misjudge a step you clearly saw, don't write it off as clumsiness. The brain maps space. When the map glitches, your body tells on it. A severe, unusual headache that feels different from your normal ones, especially if it arrives like a thunderclap. I never get headaches like this, is a sentence doctors hear all the time from people who waited too long. Dizziness that isn't just, I stood up too fast. The room tilts, you wobble, your legs don't trust the floor. Poor coordination you can feel. Keys fall from your hand. The spoon won't land where you expect. Your finger misses the target. That's not personality. It can be neurology. Sudden confusion or a focus blackout mid-conversation. The kind that feels like a switch flipped off. Pins and needles or numbness that hits one arm, one leg, or one side of your face without a reason like pressure on a nerve. Trouble swallowing water that goes down the wrong pipe again and again in the same moment. Nausea or vomiting that arrives with dizziness or a balance problem, especially when it's abrupt and unlike a routine stomach bug. An out-of-character, light-sensitive headache paired with anything else on this list. Spatial weirdness, ignoring things on one side, clipping the same corner of a table twice, not noticing someone standing just to your left. Brief micro-blackouts, or waves of sleepiness followed by confusion, even if they last seconds. And the trickiest sign of all, everything stops after a few minutes, and you feel normal again. That is exactly when most people talk themselves out of calling. Don't. So what do you actually do? First, you call emergency services. Not your friend, not a taxi, not let me just lie down. Second, note the time, the minute the first symptom started. That one detail shapes treatment. Third, don't take aspirin unless a clinician has already told you to do that in this exact situation. Some emergencies can look like a TIA but involve bleeding, and aspirin can make that worse. Fourth, keep the person safe and calm. Sit, breathe, and watch for changes while help is coming. Let the professionals take it from there. What happens next? Doctors need to see your brain quickly, CT or MRI, to check for bleeding and signs of a blocked vessel. They'll likely scan the carotid arteries in your neck, because clogs there can throw small clots to the brain. They'll look at your heart rhythm. An irregular beat called atrial fibrillation can send clots north. They'll check blood pressure, sugar, cholesterol, and do an EKG. The mission is simple. Find why this happened and close the door on it. Sometimes that means antiplatelet medications, sometimes a blood thinner if a rhythm problem is found, sometimes a statin to stabilize plaque, and always a plan to crush risk factors. Who needs to be especially alert? Anyone with high blood pressure. If you only memorize one sentence tonight, make it this: controlling blood pressure is the single strongest way to prevent strokes. Add diabetes, high LDL cholesterol, smoking, obesity, not moving much, sleep apnea, and atrial fibrillation. That list multiplies risk. Family history matters too. Age raises risk, but younger people aren't immune when the risk pile is high. The win here is that most of these are modifiable. You can move them. Bit by bit, you can drag your risk curve down. Now let's clear up common confusion. A TIA is a brief blockage. Symptoms fade because the clot dissolves or the vessel reopens. A full stroke is longer. Damage can be permanent. But here's the rule for real life. You cannot tell which one it is at home in minute one. Treat both as medical emergencies. Let imaging make the call. You might also meet lookalikes. Migraine aura, low blood sugar, seizures, and Bell's palsy can mimic pieces of the picture. Again, assume stroke until proven otherwise. It's the safest mistake you'll ever make. Let's translate prevention into something you can do this week without turning your life upside down. Know your numbers. If you don't have a recent blood pressure reading, get one at a pharmacy, a clinic, a home cuff you trust. If it's high, don't negotiate with it. Follow a plan with your clinician. If your cholesterol profile hasn't been checked in the last year or two and you're in a risk group, schedule it. If you snore hard, wake up tired, or your partner notices pauses in your breathing, ask about sleep apnea. Treating it helps your heart and your brain. Put 30 brisk minutes on your calendar most days. Walk, cycle, climb stairs. Favor a Mediterranean-leaning plate. Vegetables, fruit, whole grains, beans, olive oil, nuts, fish. Don't smoke. If you do, talk about quitting today, not someday. If you drink, keep it light. And if you're prescribed a blood thinner or antiplatelet or a statin, take it exactly as directed. The glamorous part is the video you're watching. The life-saving part is the routine you build when the video ends. Let's bring this closer to home. Imagine you're having dinner and your dad's smile looks a bit uneven. He says he's fine. He says he's tired. He says, don't make a fuss. Here's the moment that matters. You don't debate. You test fast. Smile. Arms up. Say a sentence. If something is off, you call. You will never regret being too careful. People regret ignoring warnings every day. You don't want to be the person saying, he seemed okay and we waited. Quick questions I get all the time. Can a TIA really vanish and still be dangerous? Yes. Disappearing symptoms don't mean no risk. They're often the warning before a bigger event. Do only older people need to worry? No. Age raises risk, but TIAs can happen at younger ages with the wrong mix of factors. Should I keep watching and see if it happens again? No. If you suspect it, that first episode is the episode to act on. I want to give you a memory hook you can teach tonight. Take 30 seconds with someone you love and run the fast drill. Smile wide. Arms up. Say a clear sentence. Explain why you're doing it. Then open your phone and add a contact named Fast with your emergency number on speed dial. Put a sticky note on your fridge or a small card in your wallet. Sudden face, arm, or speech changes. Call now. That tiny ritual makes families faster. Fast saves brain. There's one more layer I want you to have. The why now question. Why do TIAs catch people off guard? Because they're quiet. They arrive without drama, they leave without apology, and life is busy. You've got kids, deadlines, bills, 1,000 pings on your phone. But a brain crisis doesn't care about your to-do list. You will never get an email titled, Your stroke arrives Friday. What you get are little red flags. You either learn them now when it's calm, or you learn them the hard way. You already chose the smart path by watching this far. So here's your micro plan for the next 24 hours. Share this video with one person who won't watch health content unless you send it. Ask your family to do the fast drill after dinner. Check your latest blood pressure reading. If you don't have one, make a plan to get it. If you're prescribed something you've been skipping, restart it and set a reminder. If you smoke, pick a quit resource today. You don't need to be perfect, you need to move. Let's put the 15 signs in your pocket one more time, quickly so they stick. Sudden one-sided weakness or numbness, a lopsided smile, slurred or scrambled speech, abrupt vision changes, a severe unusual headache, dizziness or balance loss, clumsy coordination, sudden confusion, pins and needles on one side, trouble swallowing, sudden nausea with other neurosigns, an out-of-character light-sensitive headache, bumping into things on one side, micro blackouts with confusion, symptoms that vanish after minutes. If any of those show up, especially two together, you act. You've got this. You don't need a medical degree to save a brain. You need a rule you can remember under pressure and the courage to follow it. Think fast. Move fast. Then let the professionals take it from there. Do the quick test again with me. Right now. Smile evenly. Lift both arms. Say your full name. Good. Keep that feeling. Now open your contacts and create a new one named FAST with your local emergency number. Done? Perfect. You just turned knowledge into a reflex. And here's the part you won't see coming. If your phone just auto-corrected FAST to something else, leave it. That tiny annoyance will make you notice it later, which means you'll actually use it when you need it. Sometimes the little friction saves the big future. Stay safe, stay ready, and I'll see you in the next one.